What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here in instant match reaction as Spurs have won by 3-0 against Qarabag in the big European return. First night of European football that we've had in a while. And it didn't disappoint. It was a very exciting game of football. Obviously made a bit more exciting with Radu Dragusin getting sent off in the 7th minute. There's always heart-in-mouth moments watching Spurs, no matter who they play against. And, Spurs were heavy favourites coming into it. And it was just made that much more difficult with Radu Dragusin doing what he did in the 7th minute. I mean, I saw some people complaining about the pass from Mickey van de Ven, but I thought the pass was absolutely fine. It was Radu Dragusin just lets the ball kind of just go past him a little bit, and then the Qarabag attacker just gets his foot in and wins the ball off him, and Dragusin just takes him down, and he was the last man, so he had to get sent off. Really stupid from Radu. That's all it is, and it's really frustrating because it could have been even more convincing probably than what it was. But do you have any complaints about the red card?
I don't. The only complaint I have is how poor it was from Dragusin's part, because I'm watching it back. Van de Ven plays the ball back to him. I understand. I was watching it back, and Dragusin does have lack of options to pass to. So he panicked a bit, clearly, but he lets the ball run across his body. He was in control of the situation, but he gave up control. As soon as he lets the ball run across his body, he allowed Juninho to get to the ball first. All of a sudden, Juninho's passed him and is through on goal. And Dragusin just hauls him down. And when it's a one-on-one situation, so he's denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity from a really cynical foul. And I've got no complaints from the referee. It's a red card. Dragusin has only got himself to blame, and it really put us in a difficult position. 7 minutes in, down to 10 men for virtually most of the game. And from my point of view, I think Dragusin doesn't have to haul him down. I think the Juninho, the striker, still has a lot of work to do. He's still got to beat Vicario in a one-on-one situation. He's still got to make sure he's staying ahead of Dragusin for about a good 40 yards as well. So I think Dragusin should have just stayed with him, put pressure on him. And look, if they go 1-0 up, they go 1-0 up, and that's it. And you got to take it on the chin and move on. But I think hauling him down was a poor decision. But thankfully, it didn't cost us in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And a doggy comes on for Lucas Bergvall, which was... It's really harsh on Bergvall, isn't it? Because you're saying that Bergvall, young player coming to the club, he needs minutes. He needs to show what he can do. I think in the limited game time that he has had, he has shown, sparks of brilliance at time. And I was really excited coming into this game to see Bergvall start from the off and see what he can do. I thought when he started against Coventry, he was, one of the only ones to look to get the ball forward, be in the ascendancy, ask questions of the opposition's defence. And you can see how distraught he was when coming off. You could see how distraught he was when he was off the pitch, shoulders slumped, hood over his head, and looked like he just didn't want to be there, to be honest. And I can understand where he's coming from because, it was a big opportunity for him tonight, and it's unfortunate for him. But Radu Dragusin and what he's done, he's made a hard decision. He's the fall guy.
Yeah, and I felt for him because we know what a big opportunity it is getting minutes in the Europa League. This is the chance he gets to impress. He's an 18-year-old kid looking to make it at Tottenham, looking to get those chances to show he can be a first-team player. And this was one, these are the games he's going to get those chances to show he's ready for the Premier League. And to have that cut through after 11 minutes, I understand for him it's going to be hard to take. But look, he's 18. There's going to be a lot more opportunities. There's a lot more Europa League games as well. So hopefully he doesn't take it too bad. But on the day, it's absolutely gutting for him. So hopefully... he doesn't let it get to him too much.
Yeah, I kind of felt like for the first 25 minutes, maybe even half an hour of the first half when we were down to 10 men, it didn't really look like we had 10 men. We were controlling the possession, we were advancing up the pitch, we were creating chances, and, straight away from the 12th minute, we got that goal from Brennan Johnson. Lovely finish into the far corner. A bit similar, a bit of a different finish to the one on against Brentford, but still, first time finish into the far corner, showing his confidence, maybe reaping the confidence after that goal against Brentford and a good performance, and that last minute winner against Coventry. Great to see him back on the score sheet. That's 3 in the space of a week now for Brennan Johnson. And you got to give credit to the team, don't you, for that opening half an hour of the game down to 10 men. Not looking like we're down to 10 men at all, and really controlling things and asking a lot of questions of the Qarabag defence. So I thought that was really impressive for the first half an hour.
Definitely. And I think as well, Solanke all comes from his pressing that opening goal, and it was really important to get that to not let that red card affect our game straight away, to make sure that basically what we told Qarabag in that moment is, even though we're down to 10 men, you're still in with the game here. It ain't going to be easy for you, and we're still going to attack, essentially. We're still going to put you under pressure. We're not going to be sitting back and like our Arsenal and play Arteta ball. We're not going to play 10 men behind the ball. Even though we're down to 10 men, you're still going to have to worry about us
coming up against the champions as well.
Exactly, the Azerbaijan champions. So really great moment. Solanke, who was doing it all game, brilliant pressing, winning the ball in a really good position. But not only that, not admiring his pressing, but taking the ball, playing a really good ball to Brennan, and as you say, slots it home beautifully from the right hand side, arrowing it into the corner. And that's what I really like to see about Brennan, getting that position and taking the shots early and being clinical, because we saw at Forest he's got that finish in him to across the face of goal to hit the corner. He's scored a lovely finish against Coventry, brilliant finish against Brentford, and he's done it here against Qarabag. And with 10 men now, it was a really crucial moment, so really good for Brennan to get off the mark. But I would say we got that goal, and then for the rest of the half, it was a big struggle to make sure that we stayed in the lead for the rest of the game.
Yeah, they were definitely asking more questions for those final 15, 20 minutes of the first half. They had that gilt-edged chance, which, look, it should have been a goal. No doubt about it. Lovely ball across the face of the goal. He's one-on-one with the keeper. He has the whole of the right side of the goal to aim at, and he does aim at that side of the goal, but he just scoos it all the way wide. It's a horrible finish. And at that point, we were lucky to go into half-time just at 1-1.
Yeah, it was Juninho that was with that horrible miss, and they did threaten definitely to open us up. They what's it called? They had that moment they were 1-on-1 with the keeper, played through on goal in behind, and Udogie gets in behind, makes a tackle just as they're about to pull the trigger and shoot. So that was a really, really crucial moment from Udogie. They then had that moment where they got in behind on the left-hand side, as you say, ball across the face of goal, 6 yards out, and Juninho just skews it wide, and we get absolutely fortunate from that point of view that they missed that chance. Although in the first half they didn't have too many chances. Those were the two moments I can remember, but definitely got away with those couple of moments. Obviously, Udogie came on and was having a really good performance, making sure that he was winning his duels. In that moment where he ran in behind and made sure that I think it was Juninho didn't get the shot off, was really impressive. The second half was a lot more open,
the reality is, in the first half, they had the best chances of that first half. Even that chance which they missed was a better chance than the one that we scored, and it shows on the XG. We had 0.19 XG in the first half. They had 0.74. So I do think we were fairly lucky to go in at half time, in the lead. But you got to say, second half, it was a bit of a basketball match for the most part, wasn't it?
Absolutely, and it started off like really. We started off with intent. And then, obviously, Qarabag were obviously knowing that we're down to 10 men. They maybe threw a bit more caution to the wind. I felt like in the first half they were still being a bit cautious, Qarabag, even though they had a few chances. But the second half they decided, all right, we're going to actually.
We started well though.
I'm saying I think they decided they're going to pile some players forward and they're going to kind of actually throw a bit more caution to the wind, leave a bit more risk. And I think that suited us because we know we've got the players in the final third to make the difference. Obviously, Decky comes on at half time, and I think he made a big difference in our ability to hold on to the ball, create openings, actually sustain attacks a bit more than we did in the first half. And obviously his corner, he wins the corner, I believe, doesn't he, on the right, down the right hand side, and then his corner is flapped out by the keeper, and Sarr arrives at the back post, just volleys it home and makes it 2-0. And that was a really big moment in the game because we got that buffer, that 2-goal buffer with 10 men, and then it became absolutely crazy at that moment because we get the second goal, and then Qarabag are like, all right, we're really going for this now. So they pile men forward. They then get a penalty.
And it was a penalty in my opinion.
Within a minute of our scoring, right?
So we scored 52. The penalty was 58.
So yeah, with a few minutes of our scoring, they get a penalty. Which I think on replay, I think it's one of those where I don't think VAR gives it if the referee doesn't give it. But I think given that the referee gave it, I don't think Basuma can argue. He clips the Qarabag player on the back of his heel, and then he does win the ball subsequently, but I think he does make first contact with the player, then the ball, not ball than player. So on that basis, I don't think you can really have any complaints about the penalty. And then looks like they got a route back in the game. And if you know what, if they make it 2-1, there was a good chunk of the game to go. With 10 men, they could have easily got back in that game. And I can't remember the guy who missed it, Bazalov or something.
It's Toral Bayaramov.
blazes it over the bar, clips the top of the bar, absolutely get away with that. And then we have a chance because Solanke wins it.
But then it really was. From then until Dom scores, it's a proper basketball match.
Yes.
Just literally end to end to end to end.
Solanke won on the edge of the halfway line. He plays it to Son. We've got a transition. He carries the ball from the halfway line to the edge of the area. He plays in Solanke for a one-on-one. He has a strike on his left foot who misses. And then on the back of that, Qarabag go up the field again and they get a chance. I think they're one of their players with a big miss. I can't remember which player it was. I think he had a shot from the edge of the box.
Juninho, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Juninho. He had a chance to get on the score. I think he hit the post, didn't he? And then they had a goal ruled out for offside. So they were really pushing to get back in the game, and they had some serious chances to do it. They kept missing some really good quality chances, and then we actually had a goal which we built up from the back and actually. An Ange kind of goal.
It was all started from Ben Davis's long ball up the top to Pape Matasara, I think it was. Was it Pape? I can't remember who it was.
Pape on the left.
Yeah, Pape on the left. So a brilliant ball from Ben Davis. And actually, quite a few times during the game, he played that lovely searching long ball that was quite successful for us. And I got to give big up to Ben Davis because I thought he played well today. But yeah, it was a lovely team goal, all starting from Ben Davis from the back.
Yeah, Davis played a lovely ball into space on the left-hand side. Pape's made a run from deep. He's found the space. He cuts it back to a really good cut back to Deki. Deki has the presence of mind to find Son in that Sonny zone on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Son doesn't really think twice about it. He gets a strike on goal. And actually, it's not the best strike, but it was just enough power to make the keeper spill it. Keeper spills it, which he really shouldn't have spilled it. He should have easily caught it, but he spills it right into Solanke's path. He was the only one on the move. He was the only one sniffing the opportunity to get a goal. It falls to him, and he gets his second goal in a week. And it caps off what was a great, brilliant performance from him because he worked his socks off. He got a goal and an assist on the day, and he's really starting to settle in well into his Spurs side now.
Yeah, 2 goals in the space of a week for Big Dom, and 2 like carbon copy of the same goals. The one at Brentford, Maddison takes a shot and it rebounds, and Dom Solanke's there with the poacher's finish, and then again this time Sonny's the one that takes the shot, and Big Dom is there following through for the. It was a bad mistake from the keeper to just palm it out like that. But you got to be there when it counts, and Dom Solanke definitely did that. And at that point, 3-0 up with 20 minutes to go, it was game, set and match. And you got to feel for Qarabag at times today because they created themselves some real gilt-edged opportunities. That one in the first half, they hit the bar and the post in the second half, and they had a penalty as well. So I do think 3-0 flatters us a bit today.
Yeah, probably. I don't think we should have won by 3 goals, but I think we'd probably deserve the win just about. Obviously, they missed the penalty and they missed a few chances, but I think the way we dealt with going down to 10 men was admirable. I think we still continued to play our football and we still pressed and we were still a threat going forward. And I think we adapted well to the situation. I guess I think
you would have a different outlook on the game if Qarabag actually put away those gilt-edged chances that we did have, though.
Yeah, I think if we come up against a better team, it might be a different story.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't think we deserve to win 3-0 today. We did well to get away with it, but that's what we did. I think we got away with one tonight because the chances that Qarabag created were massive chances.
Yeah, but we also created our chances, didn't we?
Yeah, that's true.
And we got, as much as we could all say the football that we played left the door open, but it also put us in a position where we got 3 goals. I mean, who goes down to 10 men and goes on to win the game 3-0? It's very rare, even against a team like Qarabag in Europa League. They're a team who are used to European competition. They're no mugs, and to win the game 3-0 with 10 men is still impressive. And the way we play, yes, it could have cost us, but also put us in a position where we can create the level of chances that we were able to create and score. So, it's a give and take, and I think you got to take the positives out of it.
Do you think at sometimes though, like there should be a bit of air of not just go all out like we did do? Because yes, we scored the goals, but maybe after the first goal or after the second goal, err on the side of caution a little bit.
We did that after the third goal, but I would say, you could say maybe do that, but that's not how we play. It's just not who we are.
I'm not saying that's who we are. I'm saying on your opinion, what do you think that we should be doing?
I think it'll be the smarter option to do that, probably. But you probably don't get a third goal if we do that and kill the game. So I think if we're playing a better level of opposition, they probably punish us. If we're playing a smarter level of opposition, they probably punish us. So on that front, in future games, we'll have to wait and see if we do that with 10 men, if it will cost us or not. I mean, obviously we played similar against Chelsea, but obviously I was 9 men, but that cost us. We lost the game 4-1. But then again against Luton, played a similar way and we won 1-0. So I guess it just depends on the opposition. I think it'll be a smarter move to kind of play a bit more pragmatically in that situation. But, Ange plays this way and it got us a 3-0 win today.
Yeah, I think when you're coming up against the Qarabags and the Lutons, it's fair enough. We've got the quality even with 10 men. But I do feel like if we are going to come up against better opposition, if that happens against Manchester United at Old Trafford on the weekend, it could be a very long afternoon, couldn't it?
Yeah, but hopefully we're going to go down.
Yeah, let's obviously. Obviously, it shouldn't be the plan to go down to 10 men after 7 minutes.
You can't plan.
But I'm just saying that if that does happen,
well, that's how we play.
It's just who we are, mate.
It's just who we are.
And you know full well if Arsenal went down to 10 men that early, that's it. Park the bus football. Well, to be honest, they don't. Not even if they go down to 10 men. That's how they play.
Qarabag managers already.
The Spanish Tony Pulis in Mikel Arteta. But anyway, this ain't about them lot. This is about Spurs.
What did I tell you about the Qarabag manager before the game?
What did you say?
That if they lose, he's going to start saying, "Oh, we were caught in traffic."
Is that what he said?
The game, imagine you're caught in traffic for more than 2.5 hours. I don't want to make excuses, but it shouldn't have happened.
I don't want to make excuses, but these are my excuses.
We had to come ourselves. There was no police to escort us. It had a big impact on our players, but that doesn't take anything away from our opponent. As soon as we arrived, we were told in 40 minutes we had to start. We were not as prepared as we should have been, but these are things that happen. So the Qarabag manager blaming the London traffic for their defeat today.
Look, it is a extremely bad situation for Qarabag to come into, having to walk down the high road with no police escort. It can get a bit hairy down on that high road. But yeah, look, I don't really want to hear the excuses, even though it might have played a part. I think Qarabag played fairly well today, so you've got to give them credit as well.
Yeah, they played well, but they were pretty shocking in the final third.
They were
finishing.
Yeah, they were.
They had real good chances where, but
they played well to get those chances.
They did well. Obviously they are up against 10 men, so there's a bit more. And the way we played, that does leave space. But they were really shocking in front of goal. Even the penalty was terrible. Blazing over the bar. So that would be very disappointing. But look. Really good start to the Europa League campaign. Really important to get that win on the board early on and set the tone. And look, means Dragoshin's going to be missing for a game, which is Ferencvaros, so I'm guessing Romero is going to have to play that game now, which is a bit annoying. But let's hope we've come away with this unscathed. Obviously, it looks like Son we have to wait and see what happened to Son because he's he went off not looking too happy. But we'll see if he's fit for Sunday. But really, I think in the circumstances as well, I think these kind of wins, when you're down to 10 men and you have to kind of battle adversity, it brings the team together.
It galvanises,
It galvanises, and I think it did that today.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. A super chat here from Matthew Smith says, do fans want us to park the bus to win games? No, I don't think fans want us to park the bus to win games. I think we had enough of that under Antonio Conte and under Jose Mourinho. But it's like Mourinho and Conte were so one way and Ange is so the other way. I don't think I've ever seen a manager that's so Ange's way before, so attacking. It's just a bit like a throwback to Ozzy Ardiles. Maybe Ozzy Ardiles was the last one that did something like that. But look, you got to commend it. Got
a clean sheet with 10 men.
Clean sheet with 10 men going all out attack. I mean, you got to put your hat off to it, take your hat off to it. But I did think we did get a bit lucky today with some poor finishing from Qarabag. If you bring up the stats here for a second, you look at that. Look at the domination we had in the opening half an hour of the game. Just if you look at the progress bar, right, and then Qarabag came into it a bit at the end. But here are the stats in terms of possession. Where's the stats here in terms of possession? In the first half, we had 63% possession with 10 men against 37%. And in the second half, we did concede quite a bit of possession in 66%.
But with the level of chance in the second half was probably better, right? Or was it
better? 1.31 XG to 1.47 XG in the second half.
Qarabag kind of went and put it on us a bit in the second half, but it left more gaps and we exploited that. And we created more chances and we got the goals. Yeah,
and which you got to give credit to the team for. It was a gritty performance at times from Spurs.
Yeah, Vicario had to make a lot of saves today.
Yeah,
A lot of saves.
Vicario was brilliant. Vicario was absolutely brilliant. That chance when Davis lets it slip by and Vicario's just out like a flash.
Fantastic.
You know, he didn't need to think for a second, and Vicario's there sweeping up. And if he wasn't on his game or was like dawdling a bit a second, you know, that could be Qarabag in a goal.
Definitely. So I think he did really well today. A lot of people giving praise to Archie Gray today for his performance at right back. I thought he did really well, especially in possession. He looked really composed. It was a difficult
Bring on
situation.
his stats a sec.
It was a difficult situation for him because, you know, down to 10 men, less options.
Look at that heat map as well.
Yeah, but that obviously that shows how he inverted. He covered so much ground. He played some really good passes to Brennan Johnson.
Two
on the
key
right
passes.
side. Yeah, created a couple of opportunities. I thought he did really well on the ball. Off the ball, obviously, it was difficult for him. I think by and large he did well, but there were some occasions where he was double teamed and they had overlaps and
dribble past once, 2 tackles, 1 block shots, and 2 clearances.
The only times I think he didn't do well was when he was outnumbered and when he wasn't getting any help, and then all of a sudden they were getting in. But I think by and large he actually did.
I think we were caused quite a few problems down that side.
Yeah, because I don't think it was his fault though. I think he wasn't getting the support.
Mickey van der Ven, who was also brilliant tonight. Look at that heat map from Mickey van der Ven. He is just everywhere on that pitch, and you can think for a team down to 10 men and for your centre back to be that high up the pitch, it's just unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. Look at the red marks in the centre spot.
Yeah, well, exactly that, and that just goes to show how brave we are, even with 10 men. He played right centre back today as well, so an more unfamiliar position, but he adapted pretty well, and he had to do a lot of mopping up. Every time Qarabag wanted to go in behind down the centre, they just ran into Mickey van der Ven every time, and he was just able to prevent that. So pretty good from Mickey.
It just gives you so much confidence, doesn't it, when like a ball's going round the back and you see Mickey chasing after it. You're just like this attacker's got no chance.
Yeah,
every time that's what you feel.
Absolutely, he's such a safety blanket, Van der Ven, with his pace. It's incredible. Hopefully he's not too tired for the weekend.
This was Bissouma's heat map. I thought Bissouma was everywhere as well today. I thought he put in a real big shift in for the team. I thought on the ball could have been a bit better at times, but I thought off the ball he was amazing for us today.
Yeah, and he covered so much ground. You could see he was getting tired as well. But I think he did so much good work in the defensive midfield role today, and he had to because he was out. He was only a double pivot of him and Sarr after Berger went off, so he had to do a lot more running. And I thought he covered so much ground and did really well.
Yeah, another player who I want to cover is Big Dom Solanke. Look at that heat map from him. He was dropping deep. He was knitting the play together. He was being aggressive. He worked tirelessly hard for the whole time. You could see he was flagging towards the end before we brought him off. A bit similar to the Brentford game. Got his goal, and you can really see what he's going to bring to this team over the long term, can't you?
Yeah, I think wasn't just his hold-up play, which was really good, but I thought one of the biggest weapons we had was him pressing from the front and winning and winning the ball in really dangerous areas. It got the first goal. It created a chance for the one-on-one as well. And if it wasn't for him being tireless and just always looking for opportunities to nick the ball in dangerous areas, then I don't think we win this game like we do. So he did a really good job, and I thought obviously got an assist for the first goal with a good pressing and a really good pass out to Brennan, and obviously Poacher's effort for the second goal, and very similar to the goal against Brentford he scored. So always sniffing those opportunities for those tap-ins, which is really important, and I thought he's doing a fine role for the team. Worked his absolute socks off, and you can see what he's going to bring to our front line.
And, a lot of people, including us, since the Arsenal, from the Arsenal game and before, were criticising the front line, saying, not doing enough. Since then, Brennan's got 3 goals in 3. Dom Solanke's got 2 in his last 2. Are we starting to see this forward line click a little bit?
Yeah, I hope so. Obviously, it's against Brentford and Qarabag, so I'm not saying take it with a pinch of salt, but you can't say they're back now because they scored goals in these games.
When you talk about Brentford, you were saying that Brentford are, perfect to combat, what we do and how we play. And, you thought it was going to be a lot harder game than we were. And Brentford are a very solid team defensively in the Premier League.
I know. I'm not saying it's bad to do. I'm just saying it's only 2 games against that level of opposition. So you can't really say based on those 2 games, you know, I'm confident now that all our problems are gone. Like, I want to see more from them, but it's definitely it's a step in the right direction. You got to start somewhere, and this is definitely a start. This is definitely something to build on. Brennan's hitting in the goals. Solanke's got 2 in 2. Son's getting goal contributions as well. So really, really encouraging. We didn't even have to play Maddison today, and we know what he can bring to the team. So hopefully. It's signs of our attack starting to click. I don't think you can say that our attack has now clicked, but I think it's signs that it is starting to click for sure.
Yeah, and that was my question.
Huh?
That was my question.
What?
Are they starting to click?
Yeah, they're starting to click, hopefully. I mean, it's signs of it. It's signs of it. I think that's all we can say at this point.
Another player who I really want to highlight here is Destiny Udogie. He came on after the red card of 12 minutes in for Lucas Bergvall, and I thought he was astonishing, Destiny Udogie, especially when he first came on in that first half. He was putting out fires all over the place in the back line for Spurs. He was helping us get high up the pitch as well. He put in a real dominant display out on that left-hand side for Spurs, and you know, he's took a while to really get to these levels in the season now. You saw it against Brentford. You saw it in the first half against Coventry. And now for the 3rd time in a week, you've seen a real top performance from him.
Yeah, it looks like he's getting to peak match fitness now. And he looked fantastic when he came on today. I thought so strong. Always got so much energy to burst into space down the left-hand side. He's always non-stop, and I felt like beginning of the season he was struggling to do 90 minutes, and late in games he was struggling, but now he seems to be really back to his best, and I thought he had a phenomenal performance. They couldn't get near him on that left-hand side. He was always an option as well, which is a really important aspect, especially when you got 10 men. So really good cameo from him. I say cameo, he pretty much played the whole game, so I thought it was fantastic.
It was a good cameo from Bergvall.
Yeah,
cameo from.
Yeah, I thought he did fantastic, Udogie, and he's been really good, to be honest, last few games now. I thought first half against Coventry, brilliant. Brentford, fantastic. And now he's followed up with a really good game against Qarabag. So, yeah, really encouraging.
97% pass accuracy from Udogie today. He just misplaced 1 pass throughout the whole time he was on the pitch.
Not easy.
Yeah, exactly. So, you got to give him credit. So, look, I think all in all, it's a really good win. 3-0 on our return back to Europe. Yes, it is against Azerbaijan Qarabag, who Qarabag, look, in their own right, gave Bayer Leverkusen a really hard 2 legs last season. Just about Leverkusen got over the line in stoppage time. So to do it with 10 men, I think is really impressive. Yes, Qarabag had their chances, but Spurs walk away with the 3-0 win, which is, I think, is very impressive. Yes, I think it did flatter us a little bit, but you still got to give credit to the team for showing that grit, scoring the goals, creating chances, and to keep playing the way we did with 10 men with that 1-man deficit.
Yeah, and I think it could have been really different and difficult considering how the game panned out, going down to 10 men after 7 minutes. It could have been a really gritty, energy-sapping, like performance. But I thought actually the way it all panned out, it panned out pretty well for us. And we were able to create chances. We were able to take players off early-ish, make some subs. We kept playing the way that we wanted to play, and I think that'll give the players belief.
I thought you were going to break into song there.
I think it'll give the players belief going forward that that it shows that when we went down to 10 men, we were still able to play with this kind of football. So I think, considering the circumstances, I think it couldn't have gone much better in a way, how it all panned out, to be honest. So. Apart from, it looks like Son went down late in the game, so we'll have to wait and see how Son is.
We have heard a rumor that Son could be injured, but we don't. That's nothing confirmed yet, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. Let's hope that he is okay for Sunday, because we're going to need him Sunday. If it's not him on Sunday, we've got Timo Werner starting the game.
Yeah,
which
great.
Which is very scary thought, to be honest. Going into Man United, we've got. The games come thick and fast. Man United, Fenerbahce, and Brighton.
Made his debut against United, got an assist.
True. What was that? The 2-2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, United's going to be a big game, but hopefully this performance hasn't taken too much out of them, because United are going to have an extra day's rest, and obviously they drew in midweek, but we played pretty much the whole game with 10 men, so that probably takes a lot out of you, all the extra running and all that kind of stuff. So we'll have to wait and see if this costs us on Sunday or not.
Yeah. Well, a long wait to see what Sonny does. We'll be back tomorrow for the post-match show with the player ratings and everything like that. stay with us as well, because we will be doing a post-match fan show where it was your chance to have your say. So please do call in. There'll be a redirect to that stream straight from here. And as well, if you want to download the app that we have just been using, I saw a few requests in the comments. The link is actually pinned to the top of the live chat. So do download SofaScore.